Hi, welcome to Holyoke Tarot. My name is Liam, and I have a pick a card reading for you today. I have three piles. I'll go over those in just a second. This is a timeless reading, so whenever you're watching it is the time you're meant to watch it. Yeah, and you can pause and pick a pile now. No, what am I saying? Let me go through them. Let me go through the cards first, and then I'm trying to get my spiel down. I don't have it down. So this is our Rainbow Tarot deck. This little rock is the symbol for that. And then we have our True Heart Tarot with some sea glass, and we have our Modern Witch deck, and that is a shell. Yeah, so feel free to pause now and pick a pile, or you can watch the whole thing and see what resonates. Yeah, glad you're here. And if you haven't, subscribe. Cool. Let's get into it. All right. Can I read that? Sorry, I'm trying to write down my timestamps so that I can do it at the end. Don't have to watch the whole video again, so sorry about that. We'll just do them on there. Okay. What messages do we have for pile one? Hopefully that light in the back is okay. I usually don't film videos this late in the day, so there's not usually the end of day. The end of day sun is not usually coming through my window like that. How is everybody doing? If you're watching this at the shortly after I posted it, we are nearing the end of Aries season, and it has been a time, man. It's been a doozy, I feel like. For me anyways. There's a lot going on. All right, we have Temperance, the Five of Wands. Oh no, I didn't say this is our rock pile. The Wheel of Fortune, Strength, and the Fool. Lots of major arcana cards here. So there's a lot going on for you, pile one. Sort of feels like you're in between a lot of things. Like you, especially with this Five of Wands card, it sort of feels like there's all these things like battling. It's not showing up super well in this light. But there's all these things that are sort of like battling for your attention, or you're kind of like mixed up about maybe, or like you're trying to be heard in the specific way, or someone or something's trying to be heard for you, and there's a lot of like going on. That's what it feels like. So I think there's some things to like hold on to here, right? And with our Wheel of Fortune, it feels like there's a lot of possibilities. So there can be this like kind of like fighting within you, or sort of like confusion within your system. And there's all these possibilities, right? So you might see like a full open road in front of you, and being like, okay, like what is this next thing to put my focus towards next? And I think the cards are asking you to have a little patience. I think that you've been maybe asking for some answers for a long time, and yeah, there's some encouragement to kind of slow down, to kind of like stop this like frenetic energy that you've been having a little bit. And like, she's so peaceful. It's evening, and this card, it seems like just pouring cups, back and forth. And so I think there's an element here of like taking your time, and also a reminder that like you aren't behind. You're not going to miss out on your life by taking the time, or by doing things that require time. One of my teachers, she says, basically like, she says the beginning of something is the first like 10 to 15 years that you're doing it, which is crazy, right? That's like a really long time. And so thinking of it in that time scale is like, okay, 10 to 15 years is a beginner. Like, that's crazy. So yeah, so I think like it doesn't necessarily have to be 10 to 15 years. I'm not saying that for you specifically, but I'm just saying like you can allow there to be some length. You can allow there to be some time for rest. You're not missing out. And I think this like drive you're feeling to like hurry and figure things out and hurry and do this thing and whatever, is just causing some more confusion, and then ultimately it's just tiring you out. And so then you're not going to have the strength and or the awareness to recognize when this path is opening itself up to you. Because it will, 100% it will. And I think if you are rested, if you are, you're doing things, you're having a practice, you're devoting yourself to the things that you want to devote yourself to in your life. But you're also allowing yourself to rest and to get outside and to be in nature and to do things that you just really enjoy and contemplate and, have a little sit and think every now and then. And yeah, I think that it's all going to come through, right? Through this rest, there is this strength to press forward, and then also the Fool to begin the journey again. And it's all part of the work. It's not like you're not in this place now where you're like, oh, I'm so confused. Like, what is my path? When is my life going to begin? Or like, your life is already begun. Like, it's here, you're doing the thing already. So yeah, give yourself a little bit of grace. Give yourself a pat on the back. Like, you're already doing the thing, and there's no rush, yeah. So that is your reading. Should we do a little advice card? Sometimes I do this, sometimes I don't. Let's do it today. This is the Spirit Animal Oracle deck. Let's see what comes through for you, Pile 1. It popped out and I didn't comprehend that it popped out. Swan Spirit, time for a deep dive. Yeah. So, maybe there is something you need to like put your focus into for a long period of time. Let's see what this is. 60. Jesus. With their graceful long necks, swans are able to reach into the depths. When swan spirit arrives, you are called to take a deep dive beyond what is easily available on the surface. You may think you know what is best for you now, but take the plunge into the depths of your awareness, for there is knowledge you are not aware of and great treasure to discover. Deeper understanding awaits you, and a perspective that comes from greater self-knowledge is what you need right now to better understand a situation or relationship. As you come to know yourself more intimately, so too will you come to better know others. So Swan Spirit asks you to go beyond the surface of what is happening between you and others and resist the temptation to judge by superficial appearances. Know there is much deeper potential for loving connections. Sorry, I said that funny. Forgiveness and mutual understanding. Choose to deep dive into your why, asking the deeper questions of yourself. You are led by the grace of the Swan Spirit. So, there's that for you. All right, cool. All right, pile 2 is our True Heart Tarot deck. There's a piece of sea glass for that one. Oh, goodness. Messages do we have for our pile 2? Messages do we have for pile 2? Messages do we have for pile 2? What messages do we have for pile 2? Okay. Let's see if we can get a few more cards. Messages do we have for pile 2? These ones. Okay, sorry for all the odds. The moon. Queen of Wands. 10 of Discs, Pentacles. The World. Two of Swords. This piece of paper because my pen's not working. Okay. Do we have here Queen of Wands? I rarely pull the Queen of Wands. What do you have to say, Queen of Wands? She's like doing a lot of things because she has all those arms. So she's like very capably managing a lot of different things. Pile 2. Gosh, sorry, I don't know why I'm yawning so much. Pile 2 is maybe sleepy. Or maybe I'm just sleepy. The moon. Yeah, I think there's maybe like I think there's a little bit of um not facing something maybe. Um or like oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Let me have a drink of water, maybe that'll fix it. Um, hmm. What do we have here? Interesting. Okay. We have the Two of Swords, the end here, which is like, I mean, especially in this card, it sort of feels like you're like integrating. In this deck, I mean, it sort of feels like there's like a shadowy, or not even shadowy, there's just you, and there's like a division between the like day and night side of you that you are like integrating or facing, you know? Um, yeah, especially since the character is like in shadow, you know? So it sort of feels like a void forming, you know? Usually that's not how I read this card, but it sort of feels like, um, I mean, just as a caveat, I read the deck. I don't necessarily have a specific thing for each card that I say. Maybe I do, but I try to just go with whatever whatever's happening in the moment, whatever the deck is telling me. And yeah, so this is sort of feeling like there's and and definitely the character is capable, right? Like she's balancing, she looks confident, she can't see what she's facing, but there's like a confidence there, right? Um, and so it sort of feels like you don't necessarily know your opponent, I guess I could say, or where like the the challenges are coming from, but like you're very capable in facing them. So I feel like that's just a little bit of a reminder too, even with this card as well. Like she's also very capable. Like she's holding all of these things, and she's doing it with grace. And so there's like a yeah, there's definitely like a reminder here, even too with the world card. You know, like she's holding the whole world. Um, so I think there's a reminder here of your capabilities. And I think this moon card could be a little bit of self-doubt, a little bit of questioning, a little bit of like not trusting yourself, not trusting your intuition, not trusting your guides, not trusting um, the things that have led you here. And I think that, yeah, the cards are definitely reminding you of your capabilities to hold it all, no matter what the outcome is. But then there is also the Ten of Discs here, which is very, like, I love this card. I feel like it's like the ultimate, like, success card. Um, like, look, their house is like on a bed of rubies. Surrounded by peacocks and money. No, but it doesn't have to be. It doesn't just like Pentacles isn't only like resources, you know. I mean, it's not only like money resources. It can also just be resources, as in like your capabilities. It can be access to resources. It could also just be like your ability to like get things done, or access them. That's what I already said. But I also feel like just because there's family in this card, I feel like there's an element of that as well. Um, so yeah, pile two. This isn't like so specific to like maybe something you're facing or what have you, but it's definitely a reminder for everyone that picked this deck or picked this pile or people that are resonating with this reading. That you are very capable of facing whatever is coming your way. And yeah, it's easy. It's obviously like easier said than done, but I think sometimes the little naysayer in your mind or what have you isn't always right. And yeah, you can really pull this off or really succeed at whatever you're putting yourself into. So I think you should trust that. And let's see what animal you get. Peacock spirit. That's funny. Let it shine. Oh, did I put these? I did. Oops. There's peacocks all over that card. 46. When is the last time you shook a tail feather and shined your light for all to see? Within each of us is a peacock spirit yearning for expression. You are called now to show the world the gorgeous creature you are, for you are a manifestation of spirit. Come out from the shadows, peacock spirit says, and show your true color so that others may be inspired to express their own exquisiteness. Tian says, if you remember that you are made of stardust and grace, filled with life force, energy, and sparkling light, you are a channel for divine love, and your dance is one of a kind. Catch the light and help it shimmer, and dance in celebration of your good fortune of being right here, right now. Spirit wants you to be joyful so that others may get up and dance alongside you. That's cool. All right, there we have it. Cool. All right, on to the next. All right, so this is our Modern Witch deck. This cool shell is the thing for that. Sorry, I'm yawning so much. I'm tired today, apparently. All right, what messages do we have for pile 3? Messages do we have for pile 3? That's way too many. Can we do them less at a time, please? That one too, because it just popped out of there. There's a lot of cards. King of Swords, 3 of Cups, the Hierophant, 6 of Cups, 10 of Cups. So many cups. Goodness. Ace of Swords. And the Wheel of Fortune. Cool. Yeah, King of Swords, Ace of Swords, interesting. And all these cups, lots of cups. Yeah, the King of Swords is definitely feeling um like you you are let's see. Sorry, gosh, the yawning. It's insane. Let's see what else these cards are telling me. King of Swords isn't telling me what it wants right now. The Three of Cups feels very much like relationships, like friendships specifically. Like it feels like a group of friends, toasting, having a good time. So there feels like an element of like camaraderie or like relationships. Six of Cups is also feeling as like sharing, sharing your cups, sharing your gifts, sharing your resources with someone else. And then also the Ten of Cups, which is, I also like this card a lot too, which is like beautiful. Happy family and a rainbow. This is a queer couple, which is awesome, and I love this deck. So yeah, that is feeling. The Cups is feeling like you either, if you're not in sort of these connections, they're kind of like headed your way. It sort of feels like. The King of Swords, like the swords are a little bit serious, I would say, and like intellectual. And so maybe there's a little bit of an element of like, okay, I've like feel pretty like, maybe you've been in a window of, or a period of life of like study, of like really like flexing this King of Swords muscle of like being a intellectual leader of sorts. And I think you're maybe starting down a little bit of a different path and kind of like moving into this more not moving into like it's all things at once, but maybe you're choosing to focus a little bit more on your interpersonal relationships and your emotional side and your intuition, and maybe kind of cultivating a little bit more yeah, like love, you know and seeing how that yeah, focusing on that a little bit more is maybe what I want to say. I lost the thread a little bit there. We also have the Hierophant, and maybe these friendships and connections come through the way of spiritual communities, maybe taking a class, finding a mentor, something like that. Or it could just be like going to a church if that's your thing. Maybe that's how you'll find some of these connections. But we also have the Ace of Swords here, which is sort of like the beginning of a new adventure in kind of the swords energy. So it's sort of feeling a little bit like I guess honestly too with the Wheel of Fortune card, it's feeling very much like you certainly get to choose, right? I mean, like you kind of always get to choose, but there's definitely like a choice here for you. There's a choice point of like pursuing this thing or like or it doesn't in this moment I would say I don't want to say like you're gonna lose out on the possibility of ever having these connections, but it sort of feels like there's something to choose, right? You need to choose if you're going to prioritize these the cups, if you're going to prioritize the side of you. You can choose that, or you can choose to keep prioritizing the swords, the more intellectual side of you. And it seems like the outcome either way is like a potentially interesting outcome. It just depends on what thing you want more, you know? That's not very clear. That's like not super helpful, I don't think, to know. Maybe it is, I don't know. Maybe I'm being a harsher critic. Is there any other advice for people that chose pile 3? And I want to reiterate, you're not missing out on something just because like maybe there's an opportunity here to like do something, like maybe like there's a course of study or something that you're wanting to pursue. It doesn't mean that just because you're focusing on that, you're going to like lose out on all these connections. It just means that you're not prioritizing that at this time. So that's not going to be what's most present in your life at the moment, because that's not what you're prioritizing, right? So whatever thing you choose to prioritize is going to be the thing that shows up in your life. If you want to prioritize friendships and connections and love, then do that, and that will follow. If you want to prioritize these intellectual pursuits, then do that, and those will follow. So, it sort of feels like kind of, was the other one like that too? I already forgot. Where, yeah, it really just feels like there's this reminder from God, from the universe, from spirit, from whatever you want to call it, that you are very capable and that you're in the driver's seat. And whatever the thing is that you want to experience, if you focus yourself and devote yourself to it, then it will come to fruition. Yeah, that feels like the message here for you, pile 3. Let's see what the animals say. Rabbit spirit, now is a lucky time. Cool. That's good to know. Luck is on your side at the moment. Pile 3. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the reading. If you ever would like to book some sort of one-on-one reading with me, you can go to my website, or you can message me on Instagram. My info is in the bio. Why do I keep saying that? My info is in the bio. That doesn't make sense. The info for Instagram is in the description box. And yeah, catch you in the next one.